Welcome to the Layman Seminary. We're continuing with the second video of the Beginning Biblical Greek series. And once again, I have my friend and brother in Christ, Rafe, with us. So, as I said before in the last video, we're generally going along the order of David Allen Black. But basically what we're trying to do is we're just trying to narrow things down to what is necessary for us to be able to do the translation exercises. So with that said, I'm going to give an overview of what we're going to talk about in this video. Just like what we did in the other video, we're going to introduce you to more short video resources that can help you learn these steps. One of them is going to be something that's going to be a funny picture to help you remember the order by which to parse something, or parse a verb. And we're going to also be talking about the present active indicative with song and in writing. And we're going to be talking about the to be verb as well. And we're also going to do a little bit of a show practice, at least how it would look on paper already done, and some of the steps that I use whenever I'm translating or doing these exercises. Okay. So this is the funny picture I was telling you about. I was first exposed to this while taking Turbo Greek under Dr. Wicker's class at Southwestern. And so what we have right here is we have Vera verb. And I don't know the story as good as, I'm not a good storyteller, so just bear with me. But here's Vera verb. And you see she looks pretty tense. I mean, she's sweating. You can see that in her voice, her mouth you have A and P, active, middle, and passive. And you see that she's wearing a moo dress, or you could say she's in a bad mood. And you see that rather than a purse, she has a briefcase. And you could say either she's a person, or you could relate suitcase to purse. And you see the numbers are falling out. So in short, to remember how to parse a verb, just picture Vera verb, really tense, speaking in a loud voice, active, middle, and passive, and being in a bad mood, and that she's a person, and that numbers are falling out of her briefcase. I don't know. Maybe that will help y'all, but that's the order that you do it in. Tense, voice, mood, person, and number. And of course, you'll find other parsing systems that will do it in a different order, but this seems to be helpful. Once again, we come back to the singing grammarian. And this one is his present active indicative song. Very helpful. My friend Josh, who just finished first year Greek that I helped him through, that also does the intermediate Greek videos with me. His daughters love singing these songs, so they really enjoy them. And so if you're having trouble learning, get your wife or get your kids involved in the process as well if you have them. Okay, so there's that video. This channel we actually mentioned in the last video as well, but here you have them writing it out and describing a little bit about the verb. So that goes in a little bit about how the English and the Greek relate to each other, but it's pretty good. Here, I wasn't able to find specific video on the ame verb or the present, but I did find this one that discusses the present and the imperfect active. Just ignore the part about the imperfect active. We can come back to that. So you only need to concern yourself with the top part. And then we come to this translation practice. And as I've already explained, these practice things are from David Allen Black's book. And so the first thing is, and it's very important that Greek students recognize this, is they're going to need a lot of prayer to get through Greek. So I mean, depending on God, trusting in Him, I mean, that should be our attitude in everything, but you'll definitely feel it in Greek. So pray to God for help. Rafe, what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna just tell people what this says, and then I'm gonna have you screen share your document. But what we normally do is we bold all the conjunctions and prepositions. Now, of course, at this beginning level, you haven't been introduced to conjunctions or prepositions yet, so don't worry about that. I'm just giving this order in advance. The other thing you would do is you would separate it by Greek punctuation. We do have an example of that in this episode as well. And then you can break it down by phrases, and then you color code things according to what case it is. And we haven't even talked about cases yet, or whether it's a verb or things like that. And you want to translate things in subject, verb, object order. And we'll talk about SVO order later on. But I just want to share my screen now with Rafe, or actually have him share his screen. So, okay, Rafe, it's all yours. Try to
It
share your screen.
it should be up now.
All right. I just had to white box you. Okay, good. So, basically what we have is Rafe, for the first exercises, you basically had, I think, 3 verbs per each line or something like that. And so what Rafe did was he divided it up by the punctuation. And so each one of these is a period. And so a period is a period, you know? And so he colored all the verbs red, and then he wrote the translation. If you've watched the videos in the past about the personal endings for the present active indicative, in particular the song that says "O a say amen ete usi," then you're able to come to this place right here, and you're able to say, okay, this is blepes. It's from the lexical form blepo, and therefore it means you see. And that's why Rafe has it in parentheses. And because that's one thing, I'm not going to go over vocabulary in these videos, because number one, I hope that you're reading some type of grammar, or it's very easy to get vocabulary resources all over the internet for particular books, even Quizlet and some of those other resources that I may introduce in another video. But I just want y'all to understand that if you break things down and color things, it makes translating a whole lot easier. And also, when you're typing it out or writing it out, you're internalizing it more. So there's no difficulty right here with the present active indicative. Now, I recognize that I haven't even explained the present tense, I haven't explained the active voice, and I haven't explained the indicative. And the reason being is because I want us to get to we're focused on translating first. When we get to the translating stuff, we clearly are kind of understanding what we're doing. Like, for example, the present tense is basically, like, for example, baptize, he baptizes. Now, when you have the word "u" in front of a word, that's a negative, and it means, and so you would say, rather than he looses, you would say he does not loose. And so those are just some things that hopefully you have a grammar that you're working with, or stuff on the internet you're working with, and this video comes alongside and helps in that area as you redirected to watch those channels and also interact with us. So in the next video, we're going to go into discussion about the future tense. And it's there's not too much difficulty with the future tense. In fact, Black includes the present active indicative and the future active indicative in the same chapter. But we decided to separate them up because, it'd be good for y'all to look at these, get some of these words down, see how Rafe did this, and play back the video a couple of times before you start fresh with the future active. And so, Rafe, is there anything you want to add before we close this one out?
No.
Okay. Thank y'all very much for y'all's time. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell if you want to receive notifications, and share this with others. And of course, let us know what you think. God bless.